it's me. Guess who just had a mental breakdown? Should she stay or should she go?
She gone straight to Goodwill.
It's not a big surprise that SSSniperwolf is probably the most hated creator on YouTube. When you're described as egotistical, greedy, and a bully, it's not hard to see why. From stealing other people's content to doxing a fellow YouTuber, there's no shortage of controversy behind this YouTube juggernaut. Even with all that being said, YouTube continues to protect her because they see her as one of the faces of the platform who rakes in a lot of money for them. SSSniperwolf, aka Aaliyah Marie Leah Shalesh, has been on YouTube for over a decade and has made her fair share of enemies over that time. Seriously, even at the start of her career way back in 2013, she began beefing with a YouTuber called Girl Gone Gamer. She accused Girl Gone Gamer of faking her footage in her Call of Duty gameplays. It's clear Leah did this to create controversy and make a name for herself because at the time, she was less popular than Girl Gone Gamer. Regardless of whether her accusations were true or not, it was a pretty messed up thing to do, but maybe not as bad as ghosting a fan. And not just any fan, but Kiara, a 10-year-old girl who at the time was dying of cancer and just wanted to meet her idol SSSniperwolf in person. SSniperwolf had promised to video call Kiara, but after not going through with her word, SSniperwolf blamed her no-show on her schedule being too busy. Personally, I find it hard to believe she couldn't find 20 minutes out of her day to grant the wishes of a dying fan. Apparently, Kiara's mother felt the same and voiced her frustrations towards SSniperwolf. You know, my daughter looks up to you. She loves you, watched you her whole cancer treatment the past year. It would have been nice for you just to say hi. It's okay, she's dying and literally has days to live. I just tried to make my daughter's last wishes happen. It's clear Leah continues to only care about herself and not learn from her past mistakes. There's so many more controversies I could go through, but then this video would be as long as every Marvel movie combined, so we'll just focus on the more recent ones. When it comes to her content, many people have questioned why YouTube continues to push her even though she's clearly stealing from others without giving those people any credit. Perhaps the loudest voice to come out and criticize Leah is YouTuber Jacksfilms. On October 27th, 2022, Jack posted a video simply titled SSSniperwolf where he announced a new channel, a parody of SSniperwolf's, called Jacksfilms. He explained that his passion towards creating the channel was from an article he read where he found out SSniperwolf recently bought herself a new mansion and wanted to do the same thing as her to get his own mansion. For context, it's an inside joke in Jack's community of him and his wife wanting a mansion. At first, it was all fun and games. He made daily uploads to the new channel of himself reacting to Leah's videos and quickly gained a ton of subscribers in the process. I'm not gonna lie, looking at some of his videos, they're pretty funny. Turns out there was a market for people who wanted to make fun of Leah's low effort reactions. However, things took a turn in June 2023 when Leah replied to a comment on Twitter about stealing ideas. 90% of what I upload are my ideas. People copy me and then people like you get confused. Jack saw this and then sent a tweet directed at YouTube and VidCon, mocking Leah in the process. I invented reacting to other people's TikToks. Anyone else is copying me. Incredible mental gymnastics. Hey YouTube, VidCon, you sure you're okay boosting her? Are you absolutely sure? But you know Leah wasn't gonna let that slide and responded back. Wow, I can't stand that the female YouTubers getting more views than me, even though I make the same content. Grr, life is hard. For context, Jacksfilms made another channel where he copied my content for a few months, thinking it would blow up and get millions of views. It didn't. Now he is mad. With this last statement, she was essentially saying that Jack was jealous because of the failure of Jacksfilms. I'm sorry, but if she thinks 550,000 subs with only 70 videos on his third channel is a failure, then she's way out of touch with reality. But wait, there's more. She tweeted, I hate bringing gender into this, but no one ever attacks the male react channels. Ah yes, the gender card, all reliable. Look, this is a false statement considering Jack has been known in the past for criticizing male reaction YouTubers. So far, there's a pattern here of Leah playing the victim whenever her back's against the wall. Also, Leah felt she had to get one last jab in by making fun of his appearance. The only thing that's funny about you is your hairline. Damn, that was disrespectful. One thing you would never do was talk bad about a man's hairline. Now, this became personal for Jack and only increases motivation to go at Leah even harder than before. On July 27, 2023, Jack uploaded a video titled Let's Talk about SSSniperwolf. Throughout the video, Jack expresses his strong disapproval of Leah's content, calling it repetitive, lazy, and generic TikTok reaction videos. He provided multiple examples of Leah intentionally removing the watermarks from the original creators and monetizing the stolen content afterwards with no credit given. Jack took it a step further and reached out to 9 creators that were featured in Leah's reactions, and all of them confirmed that they were never asked for permission to use their videos. On top of that, Jack revealed more things that Leah was getting away with, like re-reacting to TikToks she had already seen and being surprised as if it was her first time reacting to them.
Stop repeating. She's just repeating what they say louder.
Now, the weird thing about all of this was that Leah wasn't fighting back anymore and seemed to just be ignoring the situation. Nobody could have predicted what would happen next. On October 13, 2023, Jack was live streaming with his friends, laughing and having a good time when something completely unexpected happened.
She's literally right outside your house.
Oh my god!
This is happening right fucking now.
Fuck?
Call the fucking police.
Fucking sue her.
Wait, what?
Call the police.
No, there's a
I'm
video.
joking. She's outside your house right now.
For full context, Jack and his friends were reacting that way because Leah posted an Instagram story
Oh my
Sorry, what?
god.
Ew.
to her millions of followers with a poll asking viewers if she should go to Jack's home, which was only 5 minutes away from her shoot. She didn't get a response from Jack and decided to go to his house anyway with the caption, "Let's talk like adults." This is dangerous on so many levels, and the fact that it managed to escalate to this point is absolutely terrifying.
All right in front of your house. Come out and talk to me.
It didn't matter that Leah had deleted the post within a few hours because by now the damage had been done. Jack's home address was shown to millions of people and now he had to fear for his safety. This is internet beef. You don't cross the line and take this stuff into the real world. Otherwise, you just look stupid. The very next day, Jack went on Twitter and called on YouTube to punish Leah for her actions. Unsurprisingly, Leah tried to defend herself by playing the victim. "This creep has been harassing me for months," then plays victim saying I threatened him when I just wanted to talk to him. "I have no ill intentions. It's so sad people have to constantly create drama to pay their bills." On October 14, 2023, Jack made a video asking YouTube to take action and ban Leah off the platform.
YouTube needs to take swift action and ban her from the platform ASAP.
After a week of silence, YouTube finally responded on Twitter, stating that SSSniperwolf would be temporarily demonetized from the platform, confirming SSSniperwolf has received a temporary monetization suspension per creator responsibility policies. Off-platform actions that put others' personal safety at risk harm our community, and the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube. Hoping everyone helps move this convo to a better place. Okay, hold up. What do they mean by the behavior on both sides isn't what we want on YouTube when only Leah was in the wrong? Is YouTube playing favorites here? Of course. YouTube never specified in their tweet how long the temporary monetization would last. Would it be days, weeks, or months? Well, thanks to a user on Twitter, and I'm not making this up, they used a Chrome extension that could detect whether a video was monetized or not. And guess what? Only Leah's latest video at the time was demonetized. If this was me or any other creator except for Mr. Beast, we would have been sent to the Shadow Realm. Less than an hour after YouTube gave their thoughts on the situation, Leah posted her apology saying, "Let me start by saying I'm sorry for my recent actions. It's inexcusable. I'm sorry to Jacksfilms, YouTube, the entire creator community, and my incredible fans for not being a better example for appropriate conflict resolution. Jacksfilms, while we certainly don't see eye to eye and have our differences, I am sorry for reacting the way I did, when I should have taken the opportunity to show young creators how adults and professionals resolve conflicts by communicating directly, respectfully, and privately. Not for views or content, but a meaningful example of how conflict should be solved. I will reach out directly and hope we can find some time to connect and communicate respectfully. I'd also like to thank YouTube for holding me accountable. I deserve it, respect the decision, and appreciate the opportunity to learn and grow from a true lapse in judgment. If you believed for 1 second this apology was genuine, then think again, because sometime around YouTube's punishment and Leah's apology, Leah reposted her videos from her main channel over to her second channel, which was fully monetized. Wow, so much for respecting the decision. She absolutely feels no remorse. As for her apology, it sounded way too generic and many people thought it was written by ChatGPT, which is actually pretty funny if it's true. Unfortunately for Jack and many other creators, this just proves that YouTube will do anything to protect their favorite creators who bring in a lot of money to the platform. This sets a dangerous precedent because unless YouTube seriously hands down an equal and fair punishment to every creator, what's to stop someone else from duplicating Leah's actions? Leah has made her entire career using others to get ahead. The gameplay, editing, and commentary that made her popular was never hers to begin with. In September 2022, Leah and her husband Evan Young, aka Sausage, broke up and this would become very problematic for Leah. On August 17, 2023, Evan filed a breach of contract lawsuit against Leah, alleging that they were both part owners of the SSSniperwolf channel. To put it simply, Evan claimed that Leah breached their contract when after their split, she opened up a number of new SSSniperwolf related channels without consulting or even compensating Evan at all. He not only claimed that SSSniperwolf was a joint venture, but, and get ready for this, he had been scripting and producing all of her content. But it gets much worse. Back when Leah made gaming videos, it was really Evan secretly playing the games while Leah merely reacted to the gameplay. Leah was just the face of the channel. Should we be surprised? No. Plenty of people assumed this was the case already. There were videos from back in the day about Leah possibly faking her gameplays. However, it's just now coming directly from the source's mouth. Remember how earlier I talked about the time Leah started a smear campaign accusing Girl Gone Gamer of faking her gameplays? Yeah, what goes around comes around. Evan states that in 2013, he and Leah entered an agreement to evenly split ad revenue from their channels, but when they broke up, Leah began actively taking steps to lock Evan out of their business relationship. The lawsuit is still pending, so that's all I'm going to say about this situation. Hopefully, we get more information soon as to what was really going on behind the scenes, because this is far from over. However, there is one more thing we need to talk about, and that's Leah allegedly stealing another creator's life. Let me explain. On November 10th, 2023, YouTuber Azzyland, another reaction channel with over 13 million subscribers, came forward to voice her own issues with Leah in a video titled "SSSniperwolf Stole Her Life" by Nerd City.
SSSniperwolf and Azzyland hate to be compared. But of course that won't stop their viewers, or even YouTube itself, from lumping them together every day of their lives.
Azzy in this viral 36-minute video came with receipts to back up her claims.
More plants that I'm killing.
A luscious, well taken care of plant.
Hey man, can I copy your homework? Yeah, but change it up a little so the teacher don't notice.
This is a mirror.
And this is my favorite mirror. Finally got it and it doesn't really go without.
I like mirrors.
There's so many more examples of this throughout Nerd City's video that when you compare Azzyland's content to Leah's content, it's disturbing to think that Leah may have actually stolen Azzy's video ideas, personality, style, and even accent. Yes, you heard that right. Azzy's from Toronto, Canada, but spent some time in Amsterdam, so her accent is very unique. This really upset Azzy so much that she tried to change her voice just to separate herself from Leah.
I wanted to separate myself so much from SSSniperwolf that I started forcing myself to not talk like that. And now I don't know how to talk like that anymore. I forgot.
In typical fashion for Leah, she would deflect all blame and instead claim that it was Azzy who stole from her. Like bro, come on, the proof is in the pudding. Not one to back down easily, Leah would respond to the allegations the very next day.
He quote tweeted this Dexerto article that says SSSniperwolf has been accused by fellow YouTuber Azzyland of copying her content, stealing her presenting style, inciting harassment from fans, and lying with fake evidence to cover her tracks. SSSniperwolf then says, I have a backup of videos and screenshots before she changed the thumbnails to make it look like I copied her. I have proof she copied my thumbnails, SEO, the way I speak, the jokes I make. The way you're trying to manipulate this is fraud.
Now, this is a completely different story if Leah has substantial evidence that supports her side of the story. But the real question is, does she have any?
Then continues saying the fact that you can just go on a video and lie about everything is insane to me. She drops some more evidence from the case files here, saying I have a screenshot of you uploading the same video as me minutes after I upload multiple on occasions. A community note then came out of nowhere with a big steamin' revelation that said, This doesn't prove anything. The videos cited for evidence only have a similar title and don't contain the same thumbnail or clips, 1 and 2.
So, just as we thought, Leah's evidence compared to Azzy's evidence is complete garbage, and now Leah is holding another massive L. Even Leah knew how bad her response was because her Twitter account switched to private shortly after. In this doc, we've learned so far that Leah is a person who will use anyone to get to the top, even if that means destroying their careers, putting their lives in danger, or even stealing their identity. For almost a decade, Leah has been in the spotlight mostly for negative reasons. However, 2023 has to be the worst year for the SSSniperwolf brand. She's not only lost whatever credibility she had as a creator, but also her relationship with her husband. Only time will tell if Leah can change as a person, but I wouldn't hold my breath, because just when you want to forget about Leah or SSniperwolf, her name pops up all over social media again with even more drama than ever before.